So poppy seeds are the seeds that come from the opium poppy plant. They're used in a lot of foods, especially in pastries and bread. As someone living in the US, I usually see poppy seeds on lemon muffins and everything bagels. And you can buy poppy seeds at most grocery stores. So why am I talking about these little tiny seeds? If you're watching this, you're probably already aware. Poppy seed tea can lead to opioid addiction. Why is that? Because the poppy plant produces opium, this milky sap, which is actually about 12% morphine and 1% codeine, both of which are opiates that activate the mu opioid receptors in the body. Opium has been used for thousands of years, medicinally and recreationally, and has played a big role in history. The earliest reference to opium was in 3400 BC in Mesopotamia. In the 1800s, Britain smuggled Indian opium into China, leading to soaring addiction among the Chinese and the outbreak of the Opium War between China and Britain. Opium was brought to the US with Chinese migration to work on the railroads and during the gold rush. The prohibition of smoking opium was actually one of the first instances of drug policy being used in America to criminalize minorities. Opium was even in the movie The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy and Toto start dozing off in a field of poppy plants. This simple plant, whose sap contains opium, is actually what's harvested and chemically processed to make heroin. The seeds of the poppy plant contain trace amounts of opium, and usually the milky sap is also on the coating of the seeds. So when someone consumes poppy seeds, they will ingest very, very small amounts of opium, and therefore a tiny bit of morphine. Usually when poppy seeds are used in food commercially, they're washed and a lot of this coating gets removed. So does this mean eating poppy seeds leads to a euphoric high or relaxation? No, not with the amount we eat in our food. Typically, 1 gram of poppy seeds, which is about the weight of a raisin or a paper clip, contains 1 to 250 micrograms of morphine. So let's assume a gram of poppy seeds has 100 micrograms of morphine. There's probably 2 grams of poppy seeds on a single bagel. So that means when you eat one poppy seed bagel, you're ingesting 200 micrograms of morphine, which is zero point 0.2 milligrams of morphine. This is a very small amount. To compare, MS Contin, which is extended release morphine, has doses starting at 15 milligrams to 200 milligrams. So even the lowest dose of MS Contin contains 75 times more morphine than a poppy seed bagel. Another way to put it, if you wanted to get the equivalent of 15 milligrams of morphine, you'd have to eat 75 poppy seed bagels. That would be both impressive and frightening. And we won't talk about the consequences of all that cream cheese. So if you're eating poppy seed containing food, you're good to go. It won't affect you. But sometimes people intentionally take very high quantities of poppy seeds in order to produce classic opioid effects like euphoria, relaxation, pain relief. Typically, people get unwashed poppy seeds that have more of the concentrated coating on the seeds, and they'll make a tea in order to extract all that morphine. With frequent poppy seed tea consumption, you can develop tolerance and withdrawal symptoms, and this can lead to opioid addiction. I have had patients in my clinic who needed to start Suboxone, aka buprenorphine, in order to treat their poppy seed tea addiction. So to summarize, poppy seeds contain opium, and people can use those seeds to make a potent tea containing high enough amounts of morphine, and opioid addiction can happen. I should also add that, like with any other opioid, poppy seed tea consumption can lead to overdose and death, especially for people who are opioid naive or have no opioid tolerance. There have been numerous case reports of people who have died due to ingesting unwashed poppy seed tea.